Day number 6, tools to get out of any emotion quickly. Let's check in with the action steps for yesterday, right? Yesterday we were talking about becoming aware of your emotions. Did you pay attention? Did you notice how you're feeling throughout the day? I asked you to write down the 3 to 5 top emotions you're feeling every single day, whether that be not so fun emotions or things that you really enjoy feeling, right? What were the top 3 to 5 emotions that you feel on any given day? Because when we are aware of these things, then we can kind of have a marker of like, oh, wow, I didn't realize I was feeling anxious so many times during my day. I didn't realize I was still feeling angry so much of the time. I didn't realize I was feeling overwhelmed. I didn't realize, wow, there really is a lot of fun. I was laughing a lot throughout my day. It's good to become aware of how you're feeling, because then you know how to create a really fulfilling life for you. Today, we will be talking about shifting out of an emotion quickly. Now, why would we need to do that? I probably don't have to tell you that as a highly sensitive. When we walk into a room and we feel the tension, we feel the energy, we take it on, right? Or in the morning, if you live with your significant other or your boyfriend stayed over and he's just in a really grumpy mood, he gets a text message in the morning and it just like sets him off and he's just rah, 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 grumpy, leaves out the door, and you're kind of like standing there going, wow, how do I get myself together now to begin my day? Or another example of like rushing to get out the door and you get in the car finally and you're running 10 minutes late and your head is already going, oh my God, I can't believe it. I did it again, blah, 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 blah. All right. Or having a really challenging drop off with your kid. Oh my gosh, I know what that feels like. Or if your boss, sends an email early in the morning as you're just about to begin work going, meeting with me at 12 o'clock today. And you're going, what is that going to be about? So as HSPs, we tend to ruminate. We tend to try to figure it out. We tend to spin in these emotions. We're feeling them so intensely. It feels like they're all consuming. How do we stop it? How do we get out of it? I'm going to give you 6 steps, okay? Step number 1, name the emotion. Acknowledge the emotion. I am feeling, what are you feeling in this moment? I am angry. I am feeling hurt. I am feeling anxious. I am feeling overwhelmed. I am feeling sad. What is it that you're feeling? And then say with it, and that makes sense because. And that makes sense because. Those first three steps are really the most vital and the ones that you can quickly do wherever you are. It won't take you very long. I mean, what was this? Step number 1, acknowledging the feeling. What am I feeling? Oh yeah, that makes sense because. And then step number 2, breathing, focusing on something in my environment to shift myself physically into a different brain space. Number 3, what is on my bliss list? What can I do? What action can I take? What bliss list? Yes, what do I need to hear? What do I need in this moment, right? To kind of help yourself. So many times we get stuck. We get stuck in this judgment of ourselves. Why am I in this emotion? This is so inconvenient. I can't believe I'm here again. I don't want to be sad. I don't want to be upset. I don't want to be angry. Ugh, I had so much that I wanted to do. Now I'm going to be in this mood. Now I'm not going to get it done. There's so much judgment that we have about and for ourselves that it's just like, no, I'm going to choose a different path. I'm going to choose to be my own best friend. And this is how you do it, right? Write yourself that bliss list. Then, if you actually have more time and you notice that distracting and then getting on with your work isn't quite doing it for you, let's take it a little step further. Step number 4, I got this old trick from Dr. Becky Kennedy. She is a parenting expert, and she says, It's so important for our brains to hear that we are validated. And I'm going to take this even a step further. You're a highly sensitive being. So much of your life you weren't validated. You aren't validated because we hear things, feel things, perceive things that other people aren't. So it's incredibly important for you to come around and validate yourself. Even if your next thought is like, oh, but that's stupid. Oh, but that's silly. I can't believe I feel this way. I'm overreacting, Stop that self-talk. For now, we're going to learn all kinds of tools about how to deeper process emotions, right? Right now, we're just talking about shifting, getting yourself out of that emotion quickly, just so you can see that you have mastery over your emotions, that you have a choice, that you have control. Because so many times we feel out of control. We feel like we are overtaken by our emotions. It feels that way, but it's not true. And we started by showing you focus, physiology, focus, and meaning. Those were already great tools, and we're going to keep tying those back in. Right now, first step is acknowledge what you're feeling. I am feeling sad. And that makes sense because this was a really hard drop off, and I could feel my kids' emotions, and I want to be a good parent, and I understand that right now I can't be with my kid, but I would love to be with my kid. It makes sense that I'm sad, right? Step number 2. Right? This is going to be immediately after. Sometimes I love it when I see my kid starting it before I even get to it. Breathe. Breathing is so important. I know it seems so simple and you hear it over and over and you're like, oh God, what's that going to do about it? It helps you to calm down. It helps you to reset. It helps you to come back to your center. And from there, you're going to get out of this tunnel vision, and you feel yourself expanding, and more things are available to you again from that state of being. So breathe. Take deep, 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 deep breath in, and a deep, 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 deep breath out, right? A long breath out. Deep breathing. If you need something else, if you're really feeling anxious in your brain, do square breathing. Choose a count, let's say 4 count. Breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, hold the breath out for 4 counts, start again, breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Repeat that just to feel, I'm calming down. The other thing you can pair with this, be careful if you're driving, but even when you're driving, you can feel, what does the steering wheel feel like? Do I feel the AC blowing on me? Do I feel how the seat feels against my back, right? It's utilizing your senses and deliberately focusing. Here's that word again, focus, right? Deliberately focusing on something that is around you, right? If you're not in the car, can you look at something? Can you focus your eyes on something? Can you distract yourself? Because that initial wave of that crazy emotion is going to be the strongest, but you only give it more power if you ride it, if you keep going with it, if you keep giving it energy. So we need to get off that wave. We need to stop contributing power to it, right? If you see it in terms of law of attraction, you don't want to add momentum to that, right? If you have that thought for a few seconds and then you kind of get off of that wave, you're like, okay, that's going to peter itself out. I'm going to be over here. Use your 5 senses, right? If you're getting overstimulated, close your eyes. What am I hearing? What kind of humming can I tune into? Are there birds that I can hear? Are there maybe happy children, laughing, giggling? What can I hone in around me, right? Step number 3. What do I need right now in order to feel okay? Now I get it. Your brain's probably going to run away and say, well, I need this situation to be fixed. Well, I need $100,000 in my bank account. Well, I need for my kid to not give me such a hard time when I'm dropping him off every day. Make it smaller. Make it something that's absolutely achievable in this moment. What do I need in this moment? Do I need to call a friend? Do I need to read through a positive message? Do I need to say a mantra? What do I need to hear, right? So many times I just go to all is well, or this is hard and I can handle it. Or I am unconditionally loved and eternally supported. Or I'm going to figure this out. I'm not always going to be in this place. It's going to get better. It's like, what do you need to hear? What do you need to feel? Do you need a hug from somebody? Do you need to call somebody? Do you need to cry? Do you need to listen to a song that empowers you? What do you need in this moment? And we'll attach a little tool to this because I love tools. So here's one of the action steps you'll be taking tonight or today at some point. Write a list for yourself, what I call a bliss list or a 5-minute mood changer, right? Write a list of all the things that just bring you bliss, bring you ease, bring you peace, bring you a feeling of all is well. I am loved. I am nurtured. I am supported. I am having fun. I can be playful. I can enjoy my life. What is that for you? And make it to where it can be quick, 3 to 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you have them. Something that will help you to remember that life is good, or it can be good. And something to kind of help you shift back into a positive outlook, into a positive state of being. I will attach a list so you can, kind of go through that, but make your own. Think about things that you really enjoy. Going for a quick walk, stepping out on the balcony, closing your eyes, enjoying the sunshine in your face. That's one of my favorites. Laying in a hammock, just kind of feeling its way. Stepping outside, closing your eyes and listening for that wind rustle through the treetops. Petting your cat, doing a 5-minute yoga flow, listening to a song that really inspires you or empowers you, doing a quick fun dance. What is it that is on this bliss list for you? Because I want you to build those kind of things into your day, all throughout your day, just to have more fun, just to be more easygoing, just to remember that life is supposed to be good and you can make it good, but deliberately focusing on what makes you feel good. So, bliss list, write your own. What is my brain telling me? What is the conversation going on in my head? Once again, that's a great time to grab your journal and write it down. Write it down, what's going on. It always feels so good for me to get it out. Some people do that by speaking it out loud. Some people do it by calling a friend and speaking it out loud. For me, it has been the most transforming to write it down, because then I don't get anybody else's thoughts or feedback. I don't feel like it's going to get lost because I might want to analyze it or more deeply think about it. So when I have it written down, it's right there, but it's out of me, right? So it helps me tremendously to write these things down. What is the conversation in my head, right? Like when I drop off my kid and he's had a really hard time and part of me is angry. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I was the one who was running late. We probably wouldn't have had this issue if I would have gotten here earlier. And why is he going through this phase all of a sudden when before then he was just happy-go-lucky walking in no matter what time it was. This is too hard. I can't do this. I need help. I'm all on my own with this. What is it that your brain is telling you in that moment? Don't judge it. Just write it down or just say it aloud and just notice it and just give those feelings a voice of this is what I'm feeling, and just let it out. Just let it out. And then step number 5, what do I believe is true? What do I believe is true? So then you kind of get to focus, filter through those thoughts that you have written down and going, what is actually true? What do I believe is actually true? And also it kind of builds in a little like focus. Where do I want to focus on from here, right? It's like, do I actually believe this phase with my kid is going to last forever? Do I actually believe that he is now having just a really hard time, that he's very sad, you know? He's very upset and I'm scarring him for life by dropping him off at school. You know, what do I actually believe is true? You know, do I believe that there's really no solution, that we're going to keep going through this? What do I believe is true about this situation? Let me give you another example. This is funnily also about my kid. I tell you, once you become a parent, oh my gosh, you get challenged on whole new ways. So we were at the dentist, probably his first dental cleaning. So that was already kind of putting me kind of in a heightened state of like anxiety. How's he gonna do? Is he gonna sit still? Is it gonna hurt for him? You know, what is it gonna be like? So he had the dental cleaning. He did pretty well with it. And you know, then the dentist comes and just like checks on the mouth, on the teeth, on the jaw, and all these things. And even with the dental hygienist already going, oh my gosh, there's such a huge gap between his lower teeth and his upper teeth, you know, what, you know, just talking about it, I'm like, yeah, I know he's been on the pacifier for way too long. I should have taken it away from him before then. And she's like, oh yeah, yeah, that needs to go like now, like today. And then, you know, the dentist comes in and the dentist is like, oh yeah, what's going on? And I was like, yeah, you know, we've got this big gap and we're just looking at like teeth alignment and all this. And he's just like, oh yeah, oh, this is a huge gap. Oh, he's still on the pacifier. Oh no, you should have like gotten rid of that like a year ago. And this is like not forming his palate right. And it might be like obstructing his breathing. And it's like, all I'm hearing as a highly sensitive is like, you almost killed your kid. You know, this is what my brain is telling me. You almost killed your kid. I can't believe you did that. It's just because you took the easy way out. You just wanted to like give him comfort instead of like telling him to be more resilient and like taking away this comfort object, this pacifier. It's like all these thoughts in my head. Of course, I'm like feeling the physical effects in my body. I'm getting hot. I'm getting lightheaded, you know, dizzy. I'm feeling nauseous to my stomach. I feel like I need to sit down, otherwise I'm gonna pass out. And yet at the same time, I'm trying to like keep a smile on my face. I'm trying to be like, yeah, I'm gonna work on that. Yeah, I'm open to any feedback, you know, but my mind is just racing. So I'm going through, you know, these techniques. I'm like, Christine, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. We're gonna get through this. And then we wrap up and I get in the car and I'm just like sitting there like, I can't drive right now. You know, I feel like a truck just hit me, you know, I'm like in full trauma mode. And this is where step number 4 comes in. What do I believe to be true, right? And that is where I go back to a list that I have written myself about the things that I believe to be true. So this is a list about your values, about what you think life is about for you. If you have some kind of religion, right, it would be about believing in God and what you think is possible. So for me, and I can attach, you know, a document with my beliefs. I love it that, for example, Louise Hay in her book, You Can Heal Your Life, she kind of has that written in the very beginning chapter of like, this is what I know to be true, right? So it's like when you know your own values, your own beliefs, then you can come back to them. Because what really helped me, what I needed to hear and be reminded of, is the body is incredibly powerful and it has amazing abilities to regenerate and heal. And once I reminded myself of that belief, I'm like, oh yeah, I believe that to be true, you know? I also believe that it's never so messed up that you can't come back from it, I believe that everything is here for a reason and it serves a particular purpose. I didn't purposely do this to my son to like mess up his jaw, which I didn't, it was all a bit dramatic. But reminding yourself of your beliefs. What do I believe to be true? Let's give you a different example to maybe hopefully you can see this a bit more clearly. What if it was your boyfriend, right? Your significant other who was stressed out, busy in the morning, getting out the door. You feel like you've just been hit by a truck. Maybe you even asked him like, hey, are we still on for like a movie night tonight or date night tonight? And he was like, I don't even know anything right now because I'm just like, there's so much going on at work. Who knows? I gotta go, And then you feel this immediate sting of like, oh my God, this like hurt and I'm not even important and I feel like I don't matter, and no matter what's going on for me in my life, I'm always, kind to my partner, and whatever that internal talk. And then when you get to the step number 4, what do I believe to be true? You can just say, what do I know? What do I believe to be true about my partner? He is a kind-hearted soul. He does care very much about how I feel. I know that he loves me very dearly and time with me is important to him, right? It's like, what do I believe is true about my relationship, about my health, about life, about my body? What do I believe is true? What do I know to be true for me? And then the last little step number 6, is pretty simple. What do I want from where I stand right now? And this is already pretty deep. This is not even like deeply processing your emotions. We can go deeper than that to really figure out why this emotion came up, what the limiting beliefs are behind it, what this emotion is trying to convey or teach me or is illuminating for me. But just in this like last little step of like, what is it that I do want right now? And it can be as simple as, I want to feel at ease. I want to reconnect with the truth and the essence of who I am. I want to, have a good rest of my day. I want to be able to move forward and beyond this emotion that has me captivated in its spell at the moment. I want to go beyond that. What do I want? I want more and deeper connection with my partner, reconnection with my partner. I want to know that all is well. I want to find out a way to reconnect with my son when I pick him up from school and kind of talk about it and see what happened and hear his perspective about it. What is it that I do want from this, in this moment? What is it that I do want? What would be, you can even do a little bit of visualizing, right? What would be the greatest thing that could happen after this, Can I visualize a beautiful day? Can I visualize when I pick up my kid, he's all like laughing and cutting up with his friends, so I know that he had a good day and his teacher telling me all the great things that he experienced today. Can I visualize my partner coming home going, oh my gosh, I know I was in a really crappy mood this morning. I got you some flowers and we are definitely on for date night. It is so important to me the way that you feel and that you feel loved and cherished by me. It's like, what is the best thing that could happen from here? You can definitely visualize that and activate that. So this was great. I can quickly review the steps and then give you your 2 action steps to take from today. Step number 1, name the feeling. I feel blank, and that makes sense. It makes sense that I feel that way because blank, Breathe, activate your senses, distract your brain from that immediate crazy wave that's hitting you. Number 3, what is it that I need in this moment in order to feel better? Look on your bliss list. Look what you can do. 3 to 5 minute mood changers, right? Number 4, what is my self-talk? What is the chatter going on in my head? What are my thoughts telling me? Say them out loud, write them down. Number 5, what do I believe to be true? What do I know to be true? And number 6, what do I want from here? What do I want? What would be the best outcome? What do I want? All right, here are your action steps for today. Number 1, make a bliss list. This should not take long, right? 5 minutes. Write down 10 to 20 things that you love doing, that just opens your heart, that makes you smile, looking at baby pictures of your kiddo, petting your cat, watching a funny video, whatever it is, put it on your bliss list. And then the second step, make an I do believe this to be true list, right? I believe list. This might take you a little bit longer, but it would really, really serve you if you have this list. Even better if you can make it about life in general. What do I believe is true about my relationship? What do I believe is true about me? What do I believe is true about my health? What is it that I do believe? What are the fundamental building blocks of my life? What do I believe needs to happen, or what do I believe is true about how my life operates? Where do I have that support? Where are my resources? What do I believe to be true, right? Do I believe that I am guided in every moment? This will be so incredibly enlightening for you, even just writing that list of what you believe to be true. Thank you so much for taking that time for yourself.